Hey, what's cracking, everybody? On today's video, it's going to be another one on LinuxHub Prime. And this video is to show that I have added the Calamares installer to LinuxHub Prime. So the regular LinuxHub Prime installer is still on here, but now I'm testing a beta on the LinuxHub Prime. So right here, if I click on proceed, there's a button down here. It says Calamares Open Box Installer, and it's in beta right now. But this is going to install the OpenBox desktop environment, but using the Calamares installer. So in this video, we're going to run through it so you can see how it looks and how it works. I did upload an ISO previously, but I noticed there were some errors with trying to use the Calamares installer. So I fixed those errors, and now I've uploaded this new ISO that's from March 20th. So if you downloaded the March 17th ISO, that one has an error with the Calamares installer. Maybe for you it worked, but on my end it was showing some errors. So I updated the scripts, and now there's a new build for March 20th for the Calamares installer. So here I'm going to open up the Calamares installer, and we're just going to, it's Calamares. We've pretty much seen it all already. So right here, once this opens up, just select the area you're in. So in this case, I'm in Los Angeles. Click on next, English, default is set. Click next. I'm going to select erase disk and swap the file because that's what I normally do. And then right here, just give it some personal info. And then give it a strong and complicated password that's not 12. And then I'm going to click next. And this is an overview of everything that's going to happen. Click on install, and then install now. And this is now using the Calamares installer, but it's only set up for the OpenBox desktop environment. It's not set up for all the different environments, just for OpenBox, because Calamares is a little tricky trying to set up all the different desktop environments and all that. So maybe in the next build, I'll add the other desktop environments. It all depends on how it's going to go, because right now, just with adding this, it added about a gigabyte to the ISO. So I'm trying to keep the ISO as small as possible. And, the regular installer is still on here. So if you wanted to use the regular installer to install any other desktop, or just to install vanilla Arch install and create your own desktop, you can still do that from here. But this video is just basically highlighting that I have added the Calamares installer. And right now it's in beta. I'm testing it. And so far, this latest release for March 20th seems to be working well. So we'll go through this installer and see what the outcome looks like. All right, so I'll go ahead and I'll pause the video now. When we come back, we'll reboot into LinuxHub Prime, the installed version with the Calamares installer. Since you guys are so in love with the Calamares installer, here it is. Enjoy it in all its glory. All right, we're now coming to the end of the installation here. So right now, once it's done, we are going to reboot, and we're going to take a look at the system as it was installed by the Calamares installer. It's basically the same system that you're looking at right now, pretty much. But we'll take a look at it and see how out the box everything is installed already with the Calamares installer. And in the future, I'm going to play with other scripts to see what else we can add to it. But I can tell you right now that it automatically, I got it set up to where it installs Yay and Paru, so you can have those. So let's go ahead and reboot into the system, and we'll take a look at it now. All right, like I said before, it's basically we're looking at the same system that we were looking at on the ISO. Basically, it just transfers the same system from the ISO to your installed system. So right here, you can see we have the same welcome screen that you would normally get. The one thing here is that the builder is still using the LinuxHub Prime installer, so that's still in effect. So that's something that you gotta know if you're gonna build a custom system. I am gonna play in the future to add the Calamares installer to the to the custom respins, but that's going to require a lot of work. So, it's something I'll work on it. I'll make it happen for you guys since you guys are so in love with the Calamares installer. But we'll work on that and see how it goes. All right. So right here, what I'm doing right now is I'm updating the AUR packages. So yeah. So Paru and Yay are installed out of the box, and this way I can update the system using Paru. And it'll pretty much update the regular Pac-Man system and all the AUR packages. It'll do all that for you when you do the update using Paru. And that's what I'm doing here now. So while that's updating, we can look at our menu out the box, and there you got, of course, you got your favorites, recently used, all applications, and then you got accessories, development, education, games. You got graphics, got internet, multimedia, office, other, science, settings, and of course your system. All right, and like I said, out of the box, you're gonna get the PAMAC installer. So you got PAMAC that you can use to install AUR applications. You got Paru and you got Yay. But with PAMAC, you have to go to this hamburger menu, go to preferences, you give it your password, and then from right here, you have to enable third party. But Paru, if you know, you can use Paru or Yay from the terminal right out the box. But if you want to use a graphic installer, that's what you would do. You go up here to the hamburger menu, click on preferences, and then on third party, you just have to activate it. All right. And like I said, this is your welcome screen, as of course, as normal. And if you do decide to build a custom respin, it is going to use, like I said, the regular LinuxHub installer. But in the future, I am going to play with it to add the Calamares to that also. But, this is a lot of work, adding the Calamares and then adding it to the custom builder, because that's a whole nother set of editing to make it your own custom respin. And it's I might just make it to where it's just a default installer. It doesn't display no branding, no LinuxHub or anything like that. That way you don't have to play with it so much. Of course, if you know how to work with Calamares and all that, then you can basically edit it all yourself and put all the info you want in there yourself. But to make it work with with a custom respin, and with all these different desktop environments that we're dealing with, it's going to be kind of difficult, because by default the Calamares is going to install whatever the ISO system comes with, and in this case it's going to be open box. So it's going to be, it's a lot of trickery that has to be made in order for it to work with your custom system, if you get what I mean. So it's going to be a lot of toying around with it that's going to have to be done. But you guys wanted the Calamares installer, and there you have it. All right. So this video is just basically to show you that the Calamares installer is working, but there's still a lot of work to be done on it to make it fit in with the whole builder thing, like I said, and that's going to be a little tricky. You know what I mean? It's going to be a little tricky. It's going to be a little difficult, especially with all the different desktop environments. I could make it work easily if it was just on OpenBox, but being that LinuxHub Prime comes with all these different desktop environments, that's where the hard part comes in, because I would say like they're kind of like grouped into categories. You got the window managers, which is like OpenBox, Hyperland, Qtel, things like that. Those work different than the regular like GNOME and Cinnamon and Mate. And then you got XFC. They all have their own different set of rules to work with. So it's going to be very difficult to get it all. But hey, in due time, you know like I said, I'm not really as savvy as you think I am with this script writing and all that. But hey, I do my best and I try to make it happen. Anyways, in this video, I just wanted to show you that the Calamares installer is now available for OpenBox. And in the future, I may add it for the other desktop environments. We'll see how that goes. All right. But for now, it is available for the OpenBox desktop environment. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for this video. And I'm out.